I've never wanted to be the elephant in the room. You know that feeling of being larger than life? Everyone's staring at you, hoping and wishing that they can touch you for whatever reason. But somehow I always was, like an elephant, slowly moving and not really much of a threat. But when I approached you, my massive presence overwhelmed onlookers to the point of captivity. I had them. I had their attention. I had their minds. I had their thoughts. And for many, even their fears. But I never wanted to be like that whale swimming in the ocean. That one thing that stays put. And even though I was gentle and kind, a protector of sort, I still would always lay low. But when I came around, others always sensed my presence, of when I'm drawing near. But, I never, ever wanted to be the one melanistic animal. The only black one in the crowd. But somehow I always set my pride on standing out from the rest, because I always found myself being the darkest in the room. But with such, I made sure I was the brightest. What does your battlefield look like? And how do each one of you wear your armor? My name is Valerie Yvette Peterson. I am a poet, a playwright, an author, a coach, a motivational speaker, inspirational storyteller, and a mental health advocate. And many, many decades ago, I remember spending countless hours and hundreds of dollars at the Fashion Fair makeup counter, because it was very important to me at that time to get the perfect shade of foundation. But it wasn't to conceal my blemishes or anything like that. It was to hide my bruises. I am a domestic violence survivor. But regardless of that, I wrote my first chapbook at the age of 19. And even though I was back and forth from college to college to college and college, I finally earned my degrees at the age of 25 and 27. And how many of you may be like me, where you feel like you work twice as hard just to compete with people less qualified than you on your jobs? Well, that was me. And even as such, I wrote and published my second poetry chapbook at the age of 31, and my first full-length novel at the age of 51. And even though I found divorce on my battlefield, plural, I still have 3 amazing daughters, 31, 20, and 17. And even through all of those things, God still protected me. Now, there were times he had to reach way down and pull me out, but he did so, and he placed me safely in his bunker. And during that, he told me, he said, Valerie, you keep this pen in your hand, and you keep using it. You keep writing. It's going to make your voice strong one day. Poetry and spoken word changed my life. And although God is not the author of confusion, sometimes he'll place a few shifts in your life so that he can solve it right up in the enemy's face. It gives us clarity, and we can give him the glory. The late, great, legendary gospel artist Walter Hawkins, he said it best. He said, don't wait till the battle is over. Shout now, because in the end, we're going to win. I remember that we're becoming leaders early in our lives based on things that are being poured into us. And to be a leader means sometimes we do have to fight. It means sometimes we do have to go to war. But when you are an effective leader, it gives you the ability to form your own army of people who will be willing to fight side by side with you one day, on your battlefield. I remember going to church and being in church all the time, and more particularly during the summer months of Vacation Bible School. It was a song that resonated with me for my whole entire life. And the song was so cute. The lyrics and the words were so cute. And if you grew up in the 70s like me, you don't want no dancing in no Baptist church. So when you got a chance to do this, you were really into something. We are soldiers in the army. We have to fight, although sometimes we cry. We have to hold up. We have to hold it up until we die. And it would go on and on and on and on. And the words were so cute. But when we get older and we start to go through some things in life, we start to go on our battlefield from time to time, the words of the song take on a whole new meaning, don't they? They're not as cute as they used to be when we were kids. And our little legs marching when we were 5 and 6 years old, now that we're soldiers and now that we're on a battlefield, sometimes they change speed. And now that you are a soldier and a leader on your battlefield, sometimes your marching now has to change direction a little bit. But I'm here to tell you, no matter what your battlefield looks like, no matter what your combat looks like, no matter what wars you encounter, never loosen your armor. And my armor, Project Cocoa, is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that teaches poetry writing and spoken word recitation to men and women everywhere by way of workshops and master classes as you continue your quest for effective leadership in all of the spaces that you take up. Because poetry writing is more than just pretty words on a piece of paper. It's more than just rhythmic flow. Writing poetry requires discipline and focus, just like a soldier, just like a leader. And in my classes, you will take an introspective approach into your own sacrifice and moral compass. Writing poetry brings power to your voice, and it can provide a map of how to live with the courage to command respect over your life. Becoming a leader means sometimes you do go to war. It means sometimes you will have to fight. We can't skip those hard days. So I encourage you to continue showing up each and every day to be that effective leader. But most importantly, continue to choose the path so you can bristle up, you can grit your teeth, but never loosen your armor. And once again, I'm Valerie Yvette Peterson. You can find me on all social media platforms of the same name. And as the intro showed you, you can find my poetry, my spoken word on all streaming platforms. Whatever your war looks like, whatever your battle looks like, whatever your feelings of combat come over you, never loosen your armor. Thank you. As the African